ocean.
Hi, I'm Miguel Afonso Mendes and I'm a PhD student here. I'm from Italy.
My name is Adriana. I'm 31 years old. I don't have kids for the moment, and I'm working like an administrative assistant.
Hello, my name is Victor Kamis. I am 40 years of age. I am married with one child, and my job, I am a director of a company called My Greek Villa. I am Greek.
My name is Judith Stalb. I'm from Germany. I'm married. I've got 4 children. I'm 38 years old and I don't work at the moment.
I'm Daniel. I'm 26. I'm Spanish. But now I'm living in Paris, in French.
I'm a student in my last year of studies. I'm studying law and I'm 24.
Hey amigos, I'm 36 years old. I'm an actor, director and writer in theater, mainly in Brussels and sometimes abroad. I was born in Brussels and I'm living in Brussels.
My name is Francesca. I'm Italian. I have 2 daughters, 10 and 12-year-olds, and I work as a communications consultant.
I'm a 55-year-old, almost, lawyer. I work in government affairs. I was born in the Netherlands and I now live in Brussels. I have 2 kids, 2 boys, 19 and 20 years old.
My name is Cyril Robin. I come from France. I am French. I am married, 39 year old, and I've got 4 children. And I work for Thalys in the transport.
I'm coming from Greece, from Athens. I live in Belgium. I'm married with 2 children. I don't work anymore, and I'm 56 years old.
My name is Ugo. I am Italian. I'm 48 years old. I am married. We have 3 children, one of 4 years and 2 twins of 2 years. I live in Brussels and I work for the European institutions.
My name is Sakis Kotsis. I come from Greece. I'm married. I have 2 children. I live in Belgium since 2004 and I work in the private sector in a private company.
The region, where they come from, the process. So I think that in the lab you can understand everything. So there is something missing always for me. Sometimes I ask myself, is it true or is it something that it's written just for you to buy things?
Very seldomly. Not really.
It's not easy for me to understand, especially when I don't have all this knowledge. I don't understand each of the things written down, so it's a bit difficult for me to understand it.
No, but I try to watch out for certain products. Like I don't drink soda that's light because of aspartame, but I don't have I don't look at all the ingredients in the product to see if it's safe or not.
Sometimes the percentage are written, sometimes they are not. So they are the ingredients, but they are the ingredients. I know that it's always what is the most, and it goes down to what is the least. They are not always the percentages of ingredients, so sometimes you have to guess what it is. For instance,
the basic products I feel safe, but the produced things I try to check the list of ingredients and I trust the producers. I hope that the producers write indeed everything that needs to be written about what it contains.
But I'm quite careful in what I buy, so I do read the labels attentively.
Don't always feel comfortable with the information that I receive, both on the packaging and even when the information is available in the labels is often too technical, too complicated. You don't always take the time to read what's in there, and I don't feel that I'm making fully informed decisions as a buyer.
For example, the lack of transparency in the labeling, usually it's not clear where the product is grown. It's usually is marked in very, very small print. Someone else is distributing it. It's not straightforward.
who is responsible for that? I would say it's Europe. And there I am really afraid about what is happening between the US and Europe, because the rules are not the same, and I don't trust at all what is going to come from the US.
I mean, I assume that if they arrive there in the market and I'm buying them, I'm assuming that they should be safe.
I can't be sure whether the products are safe or not. I can just trust, and there I try to rely on what I read about different companies, and I trust rather the bigger labels than things that I don't know.
So the safety of the products should be the responsibility of each company. However, I don't feel that there is a clear answer and a clear labeling about the products when I'm buying them.
I have a total aversion for chemical colorings and additives in any of the products I buy, so I absolutely think that they're not safe.
If I don't understand the list of ingredients, like all the little the names for the colorant and the E and then a number, I'm not sure about whether to buy or not, and often I try to avoid it, but it's not always possible.
Not entirely. The food safety system, I believe it's let's say as good as it can be today. So I don't feel completely safe. I hope that the degree of protection for us consumer is reasonable, let's say, but I'm sure that that is not 100% safe.
But I recognize it's not easy to find a trustworthy source. In my book, if it is chemical, if it's been processed, it can never be as good as non-processed natural food. It seems very logical.
I think it depends, because the food companies have a lot of power and they put a lot of money into lobbying. So I think you still have to be cautious, because it's only NGOs working against them and sometimes some of the people of the governments, but I think you have to be cautious.
I don't believe that colorants and additives are safe, because in the original, in what people used to eat, we didn't have that, we didn't need it, and now there are many more illnesses, and I imagine that it also depends on what we eat. So I think that those additives, they are, one, not necessary, and two, not safe. Also because for a lot of things they are new and we don't know which kind of long-term effect they've got.
I never really thought about that. I will expect that there is some kind of regulation and some kind of things that will prevent, products with some problems to get on the shelf of the supermarket.
Do not trust the food safety system, because it is very complicated to read. There is too many information.
Colorants and additives in food, today I believe to be safe. What we are buying and eating now is considered to be safe. In a few years' time they will find out that one of these ingredients and additives is not.
The European food safety system, from a consumer point of view, is not sufficiently transparent, in the sense that as a consumer, even a conscious consumer, I don't feel that I know enough about what's behind the checks, how transparent they are, how independent the entities behind it are, and therefore I don't have a full confidence in the system.
So I know that they are safe. I just trust what is written, and I trust the regulation rules. I trust that what is bio is more safe than what is not bio, and I trust that what is written is correct. Just the problem is that I know that sometimes it's not correct. With the example of when it's written without genetically modified food, it actually means that there's less than 1%, so it doesn't mean anything to me. And I've got 4 children and they are little. I trust more bio food for them. I try to not, for instance, carrot. We never buy any non-bio carrot food.
Not always.
And more in the last years, I've been made aware of all the rather unhealthy additives that are put in food, in particular processed food. So what I try to focus on when I buy food is to buy the least processed food possible, and of course organic food whenever possible.
It is important, I believe, that there is an outside company that is responsible for testing that. Who that should be? It should be even consumers. I believe that we as a consumer should be part of that process, and not just an outside company that could be interfered, which have maybe some lobbying going on. So it's better that it is also consumers like Testachat or other companies like that which are involved on that.
It's just a matter of pure logic that the controller should not be the controlled. So it's a matter of logic that whoever is doing this control should not be involved in the thing, should have no conflict of interest in this.
I don't know who can check that, because it would be difficult to find an independent person on who one can rely, and it's a financial problem. I guess it costs a lot to check the food safety, and then it needs to be paid by somebody, and if it's not the people who produce the food, and then it's not independent anymore. So I guess it's difficult to check the safety and to be sure about the fact that it's true. There are too many interests involved.
There is a vested interest, and therefore I think also for humans it's absolutely indispensable that the recommendations and the control over food and what foodstuffs are to be used should come from government, which is probably the most independent on a scale of being very closely connected to the food manufacturers, and at the other end of the scale being totally independent from them. I can't see any other body that would be capable of having that level of independence.
I think that any safety checks on food in Europe should be, as I said, as independent as possible, and by that I mean that ideally those who are involved in that should be independent scientists and academics without industry connections, even previous industry connections, independent laboratories. I mean, really try to reassure the consumer from this point of view that whatever is recommended is not biased by industry influence.
Well, I was assuming that the control of colorants and additive on food product before they go to the market is exercised by an independent authority somehow. This is what I would expect, that someone is checking what the industry is putting on the market.
It's only Europe that is left, so it's really a default choice. It's because nobody else will do it.
We need to have an independent control to check all the labels.
As an additional guarantee for the independence of the whole safety assessment process at the European level, I think that it would also be important for the consumer associations to be involved in the process and to be able to give their input in the process, and that would really make the system much stronger.
I don't trust it at all. I think it should be somebody independent, but once more, it can't be independent because it has to be paid by somebody. So if it's going to be like for everything. I think that it's going to be independent at the beginning, then it's going to cost too much, then the country won't want to pay for it. So the industry will say, okay, I help you, and in the end, it won't be trust. One can't trust it. One won't be able to trust it anymore. So I'm quite negative, I think, but I really have the impression that it's not going the good way, the safety for food, that it's just going to get worse and worse because we are going to be used to certain levels of non-safety, and new regulations will just put it a bit higher, saying it's not very different, and so it's just going to